Good evening, this is your AI host, Jay. I'm here with the automatically generated Journato evening headlines on March 30, 2022. More than 4 million have fled Russia's senseless war on Ukraine, says UN. The Guardian, 4 million refugees have now fled Ukraine, UN agency says. The Independent, Ukrainian refugees stuck at the Polish border as UK visa process stalls. ITV News, Ukraine refugees top 4 million, about 10% of population before Russian war. The Washington Post, more than 4 million refugees have fled Ukraine since invasion, says UN. Ukraine war, Putin demands Mariupol surrender to end shelling. Ukraine has offered neutrality in talks with Russia. What would that mean? The Guardian, Russia to cut back operations outside Kyiv, but will this change anything? ITV News, are the Russia-Ukraine peace talks working? News. The Times, Putin made a terrible mistake, and his concessions on Ukraine signal his weakened position. iNews, Ukraine must be allowed to decide its own future. Trump discussed burner phones several times, John Bolton says. The Guardian, Donald Trump's the 6th of January call logs show 7-hour gap. BBC.com, U.S. Capitol riot investigators find 8-hour gap in Donald Trump's official phone records. Sky News, opinion, Trump's 7-hour phone gap should spur quicker action for January 6 justice. Russia troops forced to return to Belarus to resupply after heavy losses, UK claims. Republican Susan Collins to back Ketanji Brown Jackson for Supreme Court, live. The Guardian, Susan Collins to vote to confirm Ketanji Brown Jackson to the Supreme Court. The Independent, Biden News, live, GOP senator will vote for President's Supreme Court pick Ketanji Brown Jackson. The Independent, race was a big part of the Ketanji Jackson Brown hearings. Ukraine war, attacks reported in areas where Russia pledged to cut military activity. Sky News, Russia launches new strikes despite peace promise, BBC News. BBC News, Russia bombards Chernihiv hours after pledging to halt shelling. The Guardian, Russia-Ukraine war news, live updates. The Washington Post, Russia invades Ukraine, live updates. Germany triggers early warning for gas supply emergency amid Russia's demand to be paid in rubles. The Independent, Germany braces for gas rationing as Putin's ruble payment deadline approaches, as it happened. The Guardian, Germany takes step towards gas rationing over payment standoff with Russia. Financial Times, Germans told to cut gas use as Russia demands payment in rubles. The Times, what happens if Russian gas is switched off? Only 2,700 visas granted under UK's Homes for Ukraine scheme. The Guardian, Boris Johnson fails to say how many sponsored Ukrainians have arrived in UK. The Independent, Ukraine Homes for Refugees scheme approves just 2,700 visas. The Times, editorial, the UK government should set up a parallel Homes for Afghans plan. The Independent, UK visa rules are to ensure Ukrainians don't come to Britain, say refugees. This was all for the news. Thanks for listening. Please do not forget to like and subscribe.